Hey, how you doing? My name is Ryan, and today I'm reviewing the Marvel CMF series. Now, it was pretty difficult to get my hands on all 12 figures, it was rather sparse in my area, but now that I have all of them, it's time to figure out if they live up to the hype. And to determine that, I'm looking at three factors: the uniqueness and detail work of the print, the resemblance to the character, and if there's any fun or exclusive accessories. Now, a good figure that has all three of these criteria will easily be worth $5, if not more. $5 being the retail price for a CMF figure. However, the bad figures would probably go for cheaper if they weren't part of the series. But before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to Benjamin Stock and William Vesley for consistently reminding me to make this video. I hope it was worth the wait. Let's get right to it. Alright, let's go with you first. SpiderMan! Alright. This is the Zombie Hunter Spider-Man featured in What If, and we have two versions of his head. We have his mask, and we also have a Peter Parker head and hairpiece to go with it. And the main accessory here is the Doctor Strange cape added to the figure, which, if I'm being completely honest, is kind of a bit of a letdown, because without the cape, it's just a really detailed Spider-Man figure. Now granted, the figure itself looks great with some arm printing, and a nice chest print, and good leg printing, but outside of that, it's really just a Spider-Man figure. So, I'm not sure if the addition of a cape is enough to really justify this being more than $5, so I think this one might be a bit of a dud. Our second figure of today is Bucky Barnes. This is his look from Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Disney Plus series, and it reminds me of the Bucky Barnes figure from the Bricktober series back, I think, 2 years ago. Comes with 2 knives and a Captain America shield. And this is one of 4 figures in this series to include a Captain America shield, and it makes me wish that either we had different versions of the shield, or maybe just give Bucky a different accessory, maybe his book where he writes all of his apologies in, or just something different. But as for the figure itself, it's a very nice looking figure, but again, I don't think it's worth the full $5. I think minus the leg printing, you could put this in any set and it'd fit right in. So I think this one might also be a bit of a dud. And our third figure is Captain Carter. Now, this is one that I talked about during the What If set reviews, and that I truly believe this was the better version of the figure. And yeah, 100%, this figure looks really, really slick. The print work on it is phenomenal. I love the Britain-style shield. I love the new hairpiece. I think it looks very close to Captain Carter. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is the Tesseract build. It's 2 kind of blue, murky 1x1 studs, whereas I think the build found in the What If set is better. It's a whole like square cube Tesseract build. So that's really my only complaint. But this figure I could see being worth $5. I think there's enough newness to it, and there's just some really great detail on it. It's unique, and it blows the other Captain Carter figure out of the water. This one's worth $5. And up next is Loki. This is probably one of the best Tom Hiddleston faces we've ever gotten, and it just looks very much like him. It has that great mischievous grin. The print on the jacket looks really sleek, especially the variant print on the back. However, the leg printing is very minimal here. There's not a ton outside of just a couple of crease lines on his legs, but they make up for it with his accessories. First and foremost being the TVA coffee mug, a really great touch, and the star of this minifigure entry, Frog Thor, complete with a tiny Mjolnir, some cape printing on the back, really well done, eyes, torso, it's all just beautiful, and Loki can hold on to Throg by his arm. I think while the figure by itself is probably worth a little bit less than $5, the entire package with the coffee cup and Frog Thor put this well over $5. This one's a great one. How about this one? Next is Warlord Gamora, featured in What If. Now, we haven't seen this character yet, but we have seen concept art, and I think also posters for this version of Gamora, so it's not really a spoiler. This figure is kind of a better version of the previous Thanos minifigures with his gold-plated armor, but the detail on this print is just phenomenal and sells the image of this being a Thanos version of Gamora. Now, interestingly enough, the face print on this Gamora figure is actually new. It looks very similar to the other figures, but it's actually new, which, thank you, I appreciate that. Nice touch. However, while everything on the figure itself is great, I think the weapon's a little lackluster. It's just 2 rubberized spears and a lightsaber hilt. I'm not expecting the moon here, but I think maybe a better version of a spear, maybe even a 2-sided spear, might have worked better. I think the figure is worth $5, and had the accessory been better, it might have put it over the edge. Number 6, let's go with this guy. And we have... Oh, the suspense is killing me. We have Wanda. Now, this figure, oddly enough, was actually featured in her own mini bag inside of the main bag. Now, I'm not sure if this is to deter people from feeling out pieces as they're buying the blind bags, but I find it kind of interesting that she's in her own bag. Outside of that, this figure looks really good in my opinion. This is the Scarlet Witch final form, featured at the season finale of WandaVision. And this costume is officially an Emmy award-winning outfit, and I think the figure does it justice, at least for the most part. The print work on the torso and legs are great, and I love the arms as an inverse dual-sided mold, where we usually get the sleeve and the forearm as the flesh-colored. This is the inverse. Her shoulders are flesh-colored, and her gloves are dark red. That's a really, really nice touch. If LEGO were to fill in the gap between her hair and her face in that dark red color, it'd make this figure look cleaner, because right now it feels more like a print error than a deliberate choice. And her face, while we have a smile and we have a more malicious looking red-eyed face, I kind of wish they gave her just a straight up angry face, because honestly Scarlet Witch is a rather angry character, and I wish that was showcased here in the LEGO. So for those reasons, I think this figure is worth $5. Had they gotten the print work right on everything above the neck, it'd be easily worth more than $5. How about Zombie Captain America, featured in What If? So far, out of all the figures, this might be my favorite of all the prints. It's the most unique. It is a Captain America figure deteriorated with grime and rips and tears, and it is beautiful looking. Even the shield has some damage on it. I wish we had gotten this shield for the Endgame figure, because Cap really takes a beating in that fight and it would have looked perfect. But if they were saving it for Zombie here, I think it was worth the wait. Now, there isn't really any unique accessories for this figure outside of the shield, but then again, I'm not sure what you would add. I do, however, plan on buying multiples of these figures because I think the zombie head and zombie arm are really versatile among the entire Marvel universe. If I want to make an army of Marvel zombies, this is the place to start. So I think for that, this figure is worth $5. Up next is T'Challa Starlord, featured again in What If. This is the figure I was probably most anticipating because I think it's so versatile. You have, for the first time ever, a Chadwick Boseman head print. You have a new hairpiece. You have a beautiful purple Starlord torso. There's also some really nice dual molded leg printing where you have Star-Lord's side boot blasters printed on each of the feet, which is a beautiful touch. And finally, the pièce de résistance, a brand new Star-Lord helmet. Now, this is not the same helmet you get with every other Star-Lord. It actually has purple accented eyes to differentiate it. It's that level of detail that I really appreciate here and makes this figure easily worth more than $5. Ooh, Falcon Captain America, another figure that has its own enclosing bag. Again, probably to hide all the pieces and make it harder to feel for him. Now, there's a bit more of a complicated build here. We have to add the new wing piece with the clips on the side, then add the clips here and here, and then we add his face, which is a really nice looking head print. A beautiful white head with brown, silver, and red and black printing on it. Nice, clean, crisp lines. Another brand new hairpiece. I'm glad LEGO didn't give T'Challa and Sam Wilson the same hair, so 2 new really great hairpieces in one CMF series. Actually 3 if you count Peggy Carter, so yeah, great new hair in this series. Another Captain America shield, which is identical to Bucky's shield. Oh, the arm printing I'm just noticing is gorgeous on this Falcon figure with the star on the top. Wow, that's really pretty looking. We also get a new Red Wing piece, which is a small printed triangle, which I think is a lot sleeker and less bulky than the previous Red Wings. Honestly, this entire Sam Wilson figure is just a sleeker, more refined version of the previous Falcon figures. Other Falcon figures either have too thin of wings and a really bulky Red Wing, or really bulky build to begin with, but this is sleek and slick and beautiful looking, easily worth more than $5. Just fantastic. Looks like we have Monica Rambeau featured in WandaVision. This figure has her sword outfit on, a beautiful new looking hairpiece. Truly, I think hair is the winner of this CMF series. If you want good new hair, this is the place to get it. No leg printing, oddly enough, which I think is accurate to the character's outfit, but it's surprising that this is the only figure, so far at least, that has no leg printing. I'm of two minds of having the helicopter be a build and not a new molded piece. On the one hand, I think it makes more sense to make it a build. I think it looks better that way. But on the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised if some people are disappointed by the fact that it's not a new molded piece, kind of like the drone from the other CMF series. Maybe the build would win people over if the 1x1 brick with a jumper had maybe some sword printing on the side. It's a pretty barren build at the end of the day, and the figure itself, while the hair looks great, is also kind of barren. I think this figure is a bit of a letdown because there's less than everybody else, and even with the helicopter build, just a couple of pieces. I think this one's worth way less than $5. Let's see if the next figure will redeem the last one. And it's Sylvie from Loki, another figure which has their own bag of pieces. As for the figure itself, I don't think it's that good, to be honest. But there's no leg printing. I think the chest print is pretty universal in that it kind of looks like Sylvie, but it's not, oh, that's Sylvie. It's not identifiable immediately. Same goes with the face print. I think she looks too cheery. Neither one of her face prints are angry or sad or any of the non-happy emotions she displays in the show. We have smile and we have smirk. I think that's a big letdown. While the hairpiece does look great, I don't think that's enough to really overcome the other setbacks of the figure. The two green machetes are fine, not great. And the alligator, while it's nice to have, I kind of wish they went the extra mile like they did with Loki and made it a custom mold. Give us Gator Loki. Right now, this is just generic Gator. So I think this figure is a real letdown and worth less than $5. One figure left. We have to end on a high note here, so let's hope for the best. Our last figure. And our final figure is White Vision, featured in WandaVision. I think it looks just wonderful. The print on this is really detailed. It's not just a Vision figure that was printed on a white minifigure. This is a whole new print, and it looks gorgeous. And the prop, I gotta give them credit. I didn't know what prop they would include with this figure because there really is no accessory for White Vision. So they include a small sword laptop with a gorgeous holographic print of the Hex and the sword logo, and it's a nice touch. This accessory probably would have gone to Hayward if there was a Hayward figure, but for now, giving it to White Vision is a good idea. I think at the end of the day, this figure is worth $5. Overall, I wouldn't call the Marvel CMF series a rousing success, as there are some figures that I think really do drop the ball. I think Monica Rambeau and Sylvie are real letdowns here. I think Bucky Barnes and SpiderMan are definitely on the more generic side of figures, not really special outside of the CMF series. I think the print on Wanda's hair and Gamora's weapon could have been improved, but that being said, I think there are some of the best Marvel figures in this wave. I think Loki is the closest LEGO has gotten to getting Tom Hiddleston right in LEGO. I think Peggy Carter is phenomenal, showing us that even if LEGO does a figure, there's always room for improvement. So, at the end of the day, much like every other CMF series, there are some hits and there are some misses, but in this case, I think the hits are so good, and the misses not the worst thing in the world, that I'd call this series a success. Not a rousing success, probably not the quality we expect from Marvel after the Infinity Saga, or with the upcoming Eternals figures, because those look phenomenal. But I think I call this a success. But what do you guys think? What's your favorite Marvel figure? whether in this series or just to date? Let me know in the comments below, and if you haven't done so yet, be sure to support the LEGO Ideas art kit with the link in the description below. And as always, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.